knockout. We got my guy Dion Jones here. Dion, I mean, second knockout now. Is that the same feeling as the first knockout, or you'll never get that feeling again after the first? How did the second knockout make you feel?
The second wasn't as good as the first, most definitely. First one was like that's you can't. It's like the original first movie of something that come out. It's just the original. You can't really beat that one. So the second one, it does feel good because it's like I hit him with a body shot, he dropped, and it was just like yeah. I mean, that's what's expected now. So then it started to become like this was expected of me to knock him out. Until my last fight, I kind of had that same expectations, knockout. I think I got too knockout hungry and wasn't able to knock him out. So I got to get back to just the regular box, the basics. So, and the knockout will always come when you do that.
Well, you know what? That was going to be one of my next questions because a lot of times we see a lot of fighters, whether
Yeah,
they're in your position 7-0, 6 knockouts, or 20-0 with 16 or 17 knockouts. It's like a fighter who's undefeated, especially undefeated, or just having that experience of having a whole lot of knockouts that correlates with their record, getting knockout hungry. A lot of people expect them to get a knockout every time they get in the ring. So talk to us about that process where, like you said in your last fight, you even put that expectation on yourself to get the knockout. And then at some point you realize, it didn't happen. You were so
yeah.
gung-ho. What's that mentality like from a professional boxer's perspective when you're trying to get a knockout? You're used to getting knockouts and then it just don't happen and you realize it's not going to happen somewhere in between the rounds or inside of the fight. What's that mindset like, bro?
It just feels like it kind of just it takes you back down to the basics because you can't just go in and knock everybody out. It's rare. Even last guy, Better Be he had the longest streak. His streak just ended against Bevo. So it's like it's just you can't knock everybody out. It's sometimes when you try to get knockout hungry, it makes it harder to get the knockout. All my knockdowns in the gym, sparring or even amateur where you really hurt the guy, pro, all my knockouts come from me just being relaxed and just boxing. The second you try to add that extra, like, oh, I'm going to knock you out, it's not going to happen because you tighten up your muscles. And once you tighten up your muscles, they're moving slower, you're getting less power. And it's going to be a strong punch, but he's not going to get knocked out. All my knockouts come from when I'm hitting him with a combination, he just dropped. And I'm just like, oh, he fell. So it's just getting the. So usually if you take the knockout out of your head, for me, it works out. It's more likely for it to happen.
Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I've heard that so many different times, but hearing it from you, it sounds different in the ears and minds of other people that never heard that before. Because
Yeah.
most boxers don't talk about that part. We'll see it live at the fight, or we'll see it live on TV where we know this fighter, like you said, Better Be. It's like, all right, we know he gonna knock this guy out, or like somebody like a Tim Tszyu fighting Fundora, or somebody like a Terrence Crawford, fighting Madrimov. It's like, oh, we know they gonna just go in there and just dominate and just knock this guy out, just like Benavidez in his last fight. And then when we're watching it, and then we like, dang, they didn't get the knockout. We expect them to get the knockout. We don't know though the boxer's mentality and your perspective and how you're feeling and what you're thinking at the time it don't happen when you're accustomed to getting those type of knockouts. So we appreciate your insight. Can you talk to us about this? Because most boxers don't talk about this publicly. The
Hmm.
process. I mean, look, man, we see fighters on TV. We see fighters when we go to the fights live. Most of us that are like hardcore boxers, that boxing fans that go to the fights. Of course, I'm a manager. I'm so used to it. But some people don't understand how much work is put in behind the scenes. Can you talk to us about the actual process with dieting and being committed to the craft and going to the gym every day and sometimes twice a day and going to bed earlier than you usually would, or earlier than your peers, and not smoking and not drinking and not hanging with the wrong crowd? Can you talk to us about how that process look like? Right now you're preparing for a fight you have in a few days this week. I mean, what's that process like, making these sacrifices, and putting a lot of pressure on your body, on your mind, spiritually, emotionally. Just talk to us about the process. Educate us, man. What's the process like preparing for a fight, man?
So I tell you, it's tough. It's extremely tough. The hardest part to it is surprisingly it's just staying away from the girls, the alcohol, and the party style lifestyle, because that's that lifestyle. It tries to kick in because you're on your way up, and then people want to kind of bring you down, and not on purpose, but they just want to hang out and have fun. So that's definitely the hardest process. But I say like it's tough. So first thing in the morning, you wake up, and the very first thing that's on my mind is what time I'm gonna get to the gym. What's today's workout? So actually, when I'm really in the zone, I have my workout schedule written every day on what I got to do, how many push-ups, how many rounds it is. So first thing you do, you wake up in the morning. You always try to get like a light breakfast in, like sometimes I just eat the egg straight up. I just crack the egg in a cup, don't even cook it. Just throw a little salt on it, just drink the egg raw.
Like the Rocky movie?
Yeah,
like
like
you
the
just
Rocky
crack
movie.
it open,
Yeah.
you just like the Rocky movie?
Yeah.
How that taste, man?
Tastes like an egg. It tastes just
Man,
like an
I
egg.
tried to do that one day because I saw it in the Rocky movie when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I spit that right out, player. I wasn't
Yeah, it's not that bad. Just think of Jello, because it's just the texture that's hard to get past. Once you get past that, you just drink it, and it gives you your energy for the day. So then it keeps your lightweight. And then I'm not gonna lie, like a donut or something with some sugar in it too that morning. Usually like a muffin or something. And then I head to the gym, boxing gym. I usually do about 3 rounds of rope. I usually do 10 minutes straight actually of rope with some songs in my music. A shadow box for about 7-8 rounds. Hit the mitts with Jeff Mayweather for 4 rounds. Then I'm on the bag. Usually, if I'm not training for a fight, honestly, I keep hitting the bag until my hands hurt. So I might go 10 rounds. I don't go no more than 12 rounds though. So 10, 12 rounds. Sometimes I might only do 6 rounds. Because the bag is the funnest part to me. It's just getting to go in there and do whatever you want. So do that. Some days you spar. So for me personally, I'm not a big spar, and me and Jeff are on the same page with that. He's not like too big on, oh, you got to spar 3 times a week, or you got to spar every day. You even got to spar every week to come into a fight. He kind of he believes in like, just being in shape and staying ready for the fight. So, I might spar maybe like for this fight, I'll spar maybe twice a week to get ready for this one. So, but usually there was fights where I really didn't spar at all, and just go out there and just handle business. So, I think me personally, I think sparring is a little bit overrated because it's not a fight, it's still sparring, but it's definitely needed to get better. Sparring, and then there's a lot of running. So if you don't like running, you're not gonna like boxing. So it's you need to do at least 3 to 4 miles a day running. If you got injuries, I do the bicycle or hit the pool, do some swimming. Pull-ups, sit-ups, cardio. I mean, it's just an all-day thing, man, when it comes to the gym. So I usually do about 2 hours in the boxing gym at Floyd Mayweather's gym, and then I do about 2 hours in a regular gym, just doing strength and cardio training. And then I do some out here in Vegas. We got the Mount Charleston, so I'll hit the mountain about once a week too. Or I do some type of exotic training where it's kind of like, not inside of a gym, it's outdoor, some activity like that, or just like a long run. And as far as the diet, me personally, like I'm not super strict on my dieting because for some reason I just got a fast metabolism. So I usually eat like I told you, my breakfast. It's the egg and maybe some like a donut or something. Lunch, it's whatever, man. Whatever I'm driving by. Dinner, same thing. So I'm not too strict on my dieting. The closer you get to your fight, obviously you got to, because you got to cut the weight. But on just everyday training, I eat whatever. So that's pretty much on the dieting. The mental aspect of staying away from the girls, that's the hardest part right there.
It's the girls.
Yeah,
so it's easier to stay away from fried food and sweets than it is the girls, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I understand. There's a name that I was given, Dion, by some people in the chat, and some of them are here now. They call me Mac Marty. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They try to put that label on me, man. I think it's the glasses. I don't know what it is. But I can understand. So then let me ask you this question, because we see this all the time. Hey Dion, we family. You brought up girls, so now we got to talk about it.
All right.
So a lot of fighters, I've seen this personally. I've been in the game for a while. Where let's say a fighter in your position, 7-0, 6 knockouts, right? The young man, he has a girl that he dated in high school or in his young adult years, where he's growing and maturing as a young man, and he's with her. He's with her. He's committed to her, and then somehow, some way, he start getting a lot of praise, a lot of name recognition, a lot of notoriety. Of course, he's moving up in the ranking systems. Now all of a sudden he gets on TV, get a couple of hours, and now he's not with the same girl that he was with when he was 7-0, 6 knockouts. He's got
Yeah.
3 different girlfriends now, and they all look 10 times better than the last. I'm trying to figure out, why is that trend so popular in the sport of boxing? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's just. I mean, if we gonna get into the talk, I mean, I think that's just how females work. They don't want no amateur boxer that's not making no money, because like that's how it was when I was an amateur. It was kind of like, oh, you just an amateur. But once I turned pro, it started to come even more. Now that I'm, every fight that I win, it's more and more females that want to talk to you and stuff now. So I would say. I mean, I don't know. That's just the way I couldn't tell you why the females do that, but that's just.
So it's not the fighters. I just wanted to be clear on this. So it's not the professional boxers most of the time. It's the women. They start seeing what you're doing, how much you're getting, as far as like attention wise, how much you're getting. Then they realize, oh, this person, he's not an amateur. He's a professional. He's getting a little bit of TV shine. And then they just come out of nowhere. That's what you're saying. They just come right out of nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much. And then there's those boxers that like. Plenty of boxer friends that I got now that have girlfriends and stuff, but usually the ones that have the girlfriend now, they not as successful usually, because they spending time with her, and they may have a kid or something now, or it's just at the end of the day, boxing is about, you get 24 hours out of the day to get better, and if you got a girlfriend she's going to take up, and at least so many hours of your day, you got to work so many hours of your day, so it's. You only have so much time out of your day to do what you got to do. So that's just what I noticed from when I'm in the gym. So
it's difficult to have a balanced life when you like in a relationship and still have to make your full commitment in boxing. It's tough.
Yeah, it is, because even myself, earlier this year, I started to get like a girlfriend and stuff, and then I just realized, like, damn man, like I'm not in the gym as much as I was. I'm not as focused on my craft, And that does take away from you, because your weekends now you want to spend time with her, or, it gets complicated when you add the girl into it. So I try to stay away from it until after the fight's over with. After the fight's over with, I give myself 1 or 2 weeks to do my thing, and then get back to getting focused.